Well, howdy there, daylight burners. Happy Tuesday evening, Tuesday night. Kind of late actually, especially for anybody not on Pacific time. Uh anyhow, yeah. Happy Tuesday slash Wednesday, and hope the week's treating you all right. It has been a real son of a bitch here for the last 3 weeks. Like I moved out of the high plains, and although I miss it from time to time, I get a little homesick. And then we get some wind out here, just like we would back on the high plains, and yeah, I don't miss anything about it. Don't miss anything about that shit. It's been just windy and fucking nasty, and ugh, I hate it. I hate it. Hate it. And yeah, I'm still just digging shit out of my eyes. We had baseball opening ceremonies on Saturday. Um if you'll remember from last year with my little showdown with Jer Dog. Commissioner Jerry, Little League Baseball commissioner. Um I might repost that episode at some point. Because it was I thought it was one of my finer rants. And by the way, Aaron's gay. He tore his butthole, and he had to have surgery. And his wife's real pissed about it because like they're like way over their allotment for the year on medical insurance, and a torn butthole is not cheap to repair, so I've been told. And so anyway, thoughts and prayers with Aaron, and I'm sure he'll get through it. And mostly thoughts and prayers with Katie, as she's figuring out how she's gonna have to pay for this broken butthole. But that's neither here nor there. Like we'll let it slide this time, and uh and we anyhow, it's been busy. It's gonna be busy for the next month or so while baseball's going on. Even though it probably shouldn't be started till about 2 weeks from now. About a full month behind where we start right now, because apparently our T-ballers and 8 to 10 year olds are they're just as good as the major leaguers. We're gonna start baseball in April, god damn it. Because hey, that's when the MLB starts up for real. And so we might as well get these little bitty fuckers acclimated, and weather be damned. um May is just too late to start baseball season for little bitty kids. Anyhow, April, most unpredictable month of the year as far as weather goes. You could have full on whiteout blizzard, or you could be 90 degrees. And those could be all in the same month, on kind of back to back days. Like I know there's been days where it was 80 and then snowed the next day, and that's been Nevada, that's been that's been Colorado. Um, Montana's a little more honest. Montana's a little more of a son of a bitch, but their Montana weather's honest about it. Like it's gonna be cold early and often. But anyhow, we we've known for a week or so. I'd say 4 to 5 days in advance, we knew that Saturday, when opening ceremonies were scheduled, that the wind was going to blow and it was going to be cold, and it's going to be an overall shitty day. We knew that several days ahead of time. But we forged ahead because these goddamn T-ballers, they are going to learn how to play baseball in April. Because 1 in a million of these little fuckers is actually going to play in April for money at some point. So we start out in April, and opening ceremonies start at 9 o'clock. And my little boy's in T-ball, and my little girl is in coach pitch, or we call it farm league out here. And so we got opening ceremonies at 9. That goes to like 10 o'clock. And then we have team pictures for one of the kids at 10:30. And then we have a game at noon and a game at 1. And then we have pictures at 1:30 or 2, I think. Yeah, something like that. Anyway, full day. And we get around, and then, this is one of my days off, so I was hoping to sleep in a little bit, but and I guess I did. Technically, I slept in a touch, but we got over there about 8:30. The wind's howling. It's cold. Everybody's wearing a big coat, and we meet up where we're supposed to meet up with all of our teams. My wife took my daughter my wife took Gus, and I took my daughter, and we went to where we're supposed to meet, and then we ended up meeting basically at the same place. And then we get the word that opening ceremonies has been canceled. And so we meet in Yerington, Nevada for this, the county seat of Lyon County. And that's where all the little league teams in the county meet up right there in Yerington for the opening ceremonies. I think maybe Fernley doesn't come over, but anyhow, basically everybody in the county's there for opening ceremonies, and they cancel it when everybody's there. And I'm not saying that we should hold an opening ceremony when the weather's real shitty. But if you didn't decide to cancel it before everybody drove all the way the fuck over there, you might as well get it done. Just get it done. So anyway, everything was canceled except for the team pictures and the individual pictures. Because they had hired out this photographer, and she was getting paid for that day. I don't know what all that cost, but anyhow, though, all the games were scheduled to be there in Yerington that day, and they all got canceled, just along with the opening ceremonies, but pictures still going on. Well, come to find out, we everything kind of rescheduled, but we had our team pictures at 1:30 and 2 o'clock. 1:30 and 2 o'clock. The teams that drove to get to the opening ceremonies were the last teams to take pictures. We spent a whole fucking day in town with the wind howling, and so you can't even take the kids to the park. And we just basically sat in the vehicle and wasted an entire fucking day waiting on team pictures. And we wanted to get it done because it's my boy's first year playing baseball. So you kind of want to commemorate that. And so we waited around. Who was taking pictures before us? Well, the home team. Yerington teams, not any of their fault, the teams themselves, but they all live in town where this is taking place, where they could go home and then come back at 2 o'clock to take pictures, whereas we drove 30 minutes to get there. You could have, after you canceled the games and the opening ceremonies, you could have just like, hey, whoever's from out of town, you're up first, so we can get you back on your way because we don't have anything else planned for the rest of the day. But no, the home team, the people that can go home and come right back with no problem, they got their pictures done early, and we waited till 2 o'clock take pictures, and and this one of my big gripes outside of the sunflower seeds is like, why the fuck do we start baseball so early when we don't get out of school till like the second week of June out here, and these little league baseball seasons only last about a month. So a month and a half, we start like 2 weeks early for practice, and then in a month worth of games. So a month and a half, we could start first part of May when the weather is going to be a little more predictable. And even if the weather is kind of shitty, it's going to be at least be warmer in May than it is in April. And we're going to have a little more, like I said, a little more consistent weather, meaning that we can, at the very least, plan around weather a little bit more. But more than likely, we're going to be able to practice quite a little bit more. We're going to be able to have the games and not cancel them or postpone them. And I don't see how that would harm anybody, because the kids are still in school, and like the rodeo season's not really getting geared up until towards the end of May, right around Memorial Day is kind of the kickoff of the summer rodeo season. So right as rodeo's kind of getting kicked off is when baseball would be ending. It seems to line up pretty well. Like that's kind of how we did it where I grew up at. But anyhow, that's neither here nor there. I mean, apparently we're just gonna start in April, but knowing that we're starting in April, let's plan a little better. And if we know for several days in advance that the weather's gonna be shitty, maybe just go ahead and postpone opening ceremonies until the next week or whatever, and try again. But if you don't postpone and you don't cancel beforehand, and everybody in the goddamn county shows up for opening ceremonies, and the weather's shitty, rather than calling it off, how about you say, hey, let's do this real quick? And you don't even have to, like, because it's kind of one of those deals where everybody, like, lines up on the field. Well, how about instead of doing that, like, everybody line up real quick, and then as they call your team name, raise your hats, and 5 minutes in and out, and then let's go take pictures. And also, everybody that had to drive here from out of town, why don't you go first so you can get home? Little bit of fucking common courtesy goes a long ways. And anyhow, that also a little bit of the blame goes on me, because I did not show up to the meeting that where they voted on shit back in February. So anyhow, this is why being involved at the local level of politics, and even though this is Little League, it is very much political. So anyhow, yeah, if you're going to get involved, make sure you commit to that. And if you don't, then, well, I guess you can bitch all you want, because I just did. And but also be aware, kind of makes you look like a little bit of a hypocrite, which it did. So anyhow, I still think I'm right, but also, yeah, I could have said something in February when it might have mattered. Right now, it doesn't matter. Season's already in motion, and yeah. Well, fuck me, right? Huh? Anyhow, um, I got a few things. This wind has been awful. Um, this and climate change is like they're trying to make that. It's kind of a weird time with like the official narrative lately. You know, COVID dominated the news cycle for 2 years, and I guess we'll I'll come back to the climate change, but in the meantime, the mask mandates have been struck down by a federal judge. First time ever, there's a Trump appointed judge in Florida. No